It is the power of Black Doom.
Grandfather?
I made a Faustian deal with that monster to create Shadow. Now it seems that we all have to pay for my sins.
Stop. Let's analyze this. Yes, hello. I am the host of this video and renowned demonologist, Fudge. And Gerald Robotnik's allusion to a Faustian bargain here can only be a reference to the German folktale of Faustus, originally written by an anonymous author in the 16th century and then popularised by Elizabethan playwright Christopher Marlowe, with the tragical history of Dr. Faustus in 1604 and Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust, a two-part play published in 1808 and 1832 respectively. The story of Faust is about a man, often a doctor but sometimes an astrologer and eventually a necromancer, who bargains his soul in exchange for enlightenment. The deal he makes is with Mephistopheles, who is often merely an associate or representative of the devil, but whose character has since been reinterpreted in many texts to be the devil himself. In all versions of the story, God and the devil are real, tangible forces, and in some there are many more biblical references, such as in Goethe's drama in which Faust summons the three mighty men, also known as the Mighty Men of David, or David's Mighty Warriors, to help quell a rebellion. Now, there was already reasonable cause to believe that the Bible was canon in the Sonic universe, such as the existence of Mephiles the Dark, whose very name is just a stoff away from being the same as Faust's conniving compatriot, but Gerald Robotnik's line here, directly referencing the parable of Dr. Faust, confirms it. For reasons we've just outlined, the story of Faust cannot exist without Western ideals of God and the devil. This is all to say that Christianity is now officially canon to the Sonic universe, and to this end, so is the devil. So what does this mean for Shadow generations, and what information can we glean from this? Well, firstly, Devil Doom may be a devil, but he's certainly not the devil. At best, he could be one of the 7 princes of hell, like Asmodeus or Leviathan, but if he's so high in status, you'd think surely, considering that he spends his whole boss fight getting kicked in the eye until he fucking dies, that he'd learn to put a monocle on or something. Zelda bosses have an excuse. You're supposed to be a primordial being of otherworldly knowledge. So I suppose this begs the question, could Shadow beat actual Satan instead? To which the answer, of course, is no. The real devil would not float 20 feet away and throw colourful squares at him for 5 minutes. He would offer him the chance to kick Silver in the back of the head again in exchange for his soul, and Shadow would fold instantly. I would surmise that if the devil is in fact real in the Sonic universe, which we've established he is, that he likely has a vested interest in Shadow, however, due to his frequent dealings with the dark and sinful. Shadow has committed many evil deeds, but also often expresses regret at the way his life has gone, and grapples with the morality of the choices he makes. He is absolutely the kind of person the Christian devil would want to tempt, to seduce to the dark side. In this pursuit, perhaps he sends agents who represent sins like lust and wrath to play crucial parts in his life and encourage him to indulge in the worst parts of himself. And if you're asking if Satan has worshippers in the Sonic universe, you need to get with the program. This world is filled with some of the most sinful blasphemers this side of the last JRPG party who killed God. I'll invite you to let me know in the comments which of Sonic's main cast you think worships Satan, but I'll also say that I think I already have the most obvious answer. Yes, Vector the Crocodile can absolutely draw a pentagram from memory. Okay, another burning question. What if Shadow was infused with actual Satan's DNA instead of Black Doom's? Well, first of all, Sonic is dead. Or if he's not dead, he's in hell. By which I mean he still looks like this. Maria is still alive, but she listens to Cradle of Filth, shops at Hot Topic, hates her family, and has a complicated relationship with Shadow. Shadow himself no longer has the Doom powers like Doom Wing and Doom Morph, but instead wields power in more traditionally Christian acts of evil. Every time he says a curse word, it reverberates for hundreds of miles so that all the children can hear it, and he is now utterly irresistible to other men, whom he fucks constantly, particularly Knuckles, who was spared due to his firm belief in Jesus Christ, and who I think Shadow secretly likes quite a lot. They have a bit of a Montague-Capulet kind of relationship. Knuckles knows it's wrong, but the scandal makes it all the more exciting. Shadow the Hedgehog is still the exact same, except it's twice as long, half the levels are lost impact, and the end level quote is this one every time.
Disgusting black creatures, get out of my sight.
Now let's get to the matter at the center of it all. The Christian devil is a real force in this universe. He would have an interest in Shadow. Does he manifest in Shadow Generations in any way? It is, I would say, more likely that he manifests in Sonic Generations now that we can confirm his existence, because Sonic is an even greater sinner than Shadow, and because Planet Wisp makes a lot more sense if you look at it as some kind of Sonic universe representation of one of the 9 circles of hell. But let's humour another possibility for a moment in the interest of thorough investigation. We still don't really know how Black Doom survived the events of Shadow the Hedgehog to return in Shadow Generations. If, as I alluded to earlier, he is in fact a lackey of the Christian devil, perhaps he was revived as yet another means of testing Shadow or simply punishing him. Furthermore, the people from Shadow's past who are brought back through the time anomaly seem uniquely suited to evoke trauma from Shadow. You have, as I've already speculated, agents of sin in the form of Rouge and Omega, you have a pair of infernal jesters in the form of Orbot and Cubot, and most cruelly of all, you have Gerald and Maria Robotnik, specifically from right before the latter's untimely death and the former's transformation into a sort of evil Twitch streamer. We can surmise from Sonic Generations that the Time Eater, who is the cause of the anomaly, does not knowingly bring back traumatic figures from one's past, otherwise Sonic would have just bumped into Uncle Chuck 7 times. So does it not seem plausible that in Shadow's case, a third party, even more powerful than the Time Eater, has gotten involved? I'm not saying anything definitively, but this reeks of satanic influence. Yes, I think it is entirely possible that Satan himself is present here in Shadow Generations. But where, you may ask? Can we see him? To which I tell you that it's not for me to say, and I'm about out of time. But I leave this up to you, budding detectives and demon hunters. Look closely. If you want to find the twisted puppet master pulling the strings, you'll need to carefully consider anyone who looks just a little out of place, like they don't really belong. And then, and only then, may you find whatever insidious form he's taken.
Hello. Your name's Shadow, isn't it?
Thank you to our legendary tier patrons, Josh Hanauer, Serial Laura Bear, Kinslow TN, Bijan Imadi, Philip Tinner, Strawberry, Yo Adrian, War Crimes, Uwu, and Dr. Cruiser. Thank you to you guys, and thank you to anyone else who chooses to support us at patreon.com/PaletteSwapMag. See you next time.